Right. Well, welcome everybody. So it's been a couple of months now. Well, we missed last month, so this comes around pretty quickly. And we're going to be talking about my favourite subject at the moment, which I've been kind of going on about for the last 8 or 9 months. And it's being able to access and allow ourselves the feeling of unconditional self-love. You know, so many of us, and I do it, I'm sure all of you do it at times, we beat ourselves up over the things we do, things we could have done better, things we could have said or should have said. And I think that over the last few months, it's occurred to me that the true human condition that's the problem is that the main one is that we expect too much of ourselves as human beings. And when we don't meet up to that, we beat ourselves up. So there's that, and there's mind reading, which is they'll be thinking this, she'll be thinking that, he must be thinking this of me, which of course they're not, because most people are so caught up in their own stuff. They don't have time to think about you or worry about what you do. So those two things, but I might have told you this story. You have to stop me if I have, because I forget where I am after I'm doing these different groups. But along with my son Anthony, we run an online hypnotherapy training, and when we teach any of the things like habit control or overcoming a habit or fear, we ask one of the students if they want to be a subject. And Anthony was working with habits, and he asked if anyone wanted to be a subject, and a woman put her hand up. She said, yeah. So he said, what is the habit? She said, well, I want to stop swearing so much. I want to cut down on my swearing. So anyway, he worked with her. And afterwards I said to him, why don't you ask if she wanted to stop swearing completely? He said, well, that's ridiculous. We want to stop swearing completely. It's part of our language. It's part of who we are. But I said, I don't think we need to swear. I said, in fact, I'm going to stop swearing. And so because I said I was going to stop swearing, I was really aware of when I was swearing afterwards. And I realized that all of the swearing I was doing was at me. You effing this, you stupid that, and blah, blah, blah. All of the swearing I was doing is aimed at me, no one else. And I was speaking to a friend about it, and I said it kind of jokingly, and she said, well, that's self-abuse. I never really looked at it like that, but it's true. You know, you wouldn't speak to your kid like it, you wouldn't speak to your friend like it. So she said, what you need to feel, or to get an idea of, is an unconditional self-love. And so she helped me to find that space. And I'm telling you now, once you get into this space, your life changes. Because once you allow yourself to feel into that feeling of unconditional self-love, you start to eat differently. You start to speak to yourself differently. You start to be easier on yourself. Now, if you have a friend that you love and they put on a couple of pounds, you don't stop loving them because they put on a couple of pounds. If you have a friend that you love and they make a mistake, you don't stop loving them. And yet we're much harsher on ourselves. So I know, and that's what I want you to feel today. But the first thing to do is understand that you're worthy of it. In England, we use it as a derogatory term. Oh, look at her, she loves herself. Look at him, he loves himself. Instead of saying, oh, look at her, how wonderful, she loves herself. How incredible, he loves himself. And I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm not talking about believing you're better than anybody else. What I'm saying is to be a bit kinder to ourselves and treat ourselves with the same kindness that we treat people we do love. And I believe it's the bottom line now for all of my work. Why would anyone quit smoking if they don't value themselves? Why would anyone treat themselves to the body that they want unless they love themselves? So I think it's really important for all of us, and I know most of you here are people that help people in some way or other, to get our clients to feel into it. But first we have to find it ourselves. I honestly believe that when we're working with therapy, we don't have to be the complete perfect person to work with therapy, but I do believe we should continue to work on ourselves. Continue to ask the questions about what we're unhappy with in our own life and change it. So we can, hand on heart, say to our clients, I can help you. I can help you achieve what you want to achieve. Because otherwise there's a bit of a lack of credibility. And I also think it comes across like that as well. When the client knows, they know because of the way you speak that you're not really living that life yourself. So that's what we're going to get to today, that feeling of unconditional self-love. And you're not going to be able to hold it all the time, I promise you, because it's not. There'll be times when you still beat yourself up. But you have to bring yourself back to that feeling so that you can continue to look after yourself. I know, especially with women, I've seen this throughout my career as a hypnotherapist. So many women, they spend their adult life making sure their man is okay, making sure their kids are okay. At some point along the line, they drop out the equation. They forget about themselves. They forget about their own happiness, their own health, their own things that they want, their dreams. And then by the time their kids have gone off to college or left home, they look back and they think that they've missed that part of their life. And I'm saying to show yourselves the same love that you show your kids and know that you're worthy of it. I often think that for us to change our lives, it's very simple. We just ask the question, whenever we do anything that you think is going to be detrimental to yourself, just ask the question, would I want my child doing this? Would I want my grandson doing this? Would I want someone I love doing this? And if the answer is no, then do yourself that same kindness. But to do that, you have to have a feeling of unconditional love for yourself. Otherwise, why would you bother? So that's what we're going to aim at today. And I know there's a tagline on it, feeling good no matter what. And that's even harder to do because there's always something trying to, these things don't try to do anything to us, but factors go on in our life, the financial crisis, all that kind of stuff, which I don't understand. But, we can let it worry us and bother us, or we can say, okay, well, I'm going to do what I can to mitigate my own finances, and then I'm going to leave it at that instead of worrying about it. And, one of my favorite films, purely because of these words this guy says in this film, it's a film called Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks in it. It's about a Russian soldier that gets captured in America and he's facing the death penalty. And so because of their laws, they have to supply him with a lawyer. And no one wants that case because he's a spy. But Tom Hanks gets the case, the lawyer character he plays anyway. And throughout the film, Tom Hanks 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times, asked him, because he's facing the death penalty, he said, "Are you worried?" And this guy says these words, which for me is the best part of the film, and it stuck with me, and I use it on my own self. He said, "Will it help?" Every time this guy was facing something terrible, and Tom Hanks said, "Are you worried?" he just said, "Will it help?" And I think that's a great understanding for all of us when we're worrying about stuff like finances, like our health even. Providing we're doing everything we can do, eating the right foods, moving a bit, looking after ourselves, then worrying about our health, and I'm sure Mark will bear me out on this, worrying is the worst thing we can do. So the question I have whenever I get anxious about things, and obviously I do because I'm a human being, the next question is, if I'm feeling anxious or worried, I ask the question, will it help? Will worrying about this help at all? If the answer is no, you may as well stop worrying. And so, I don't know if it's Epictetus, I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right, this Greek philosopher, he said the secret to happiness is knowing the things you can change and understanding things you can't change. And knowing the difference between those two things. And it's true. There's no point if you think about how much time you spent worrying about things that never happened, how much brain space have you taken up in your life worrying about stuff that never actually happened? Spent weeks worrying about something that never happened. The understanding for all of us that there is only this moment that we're living in now. The past is a void, it's a vacuum that stretches back to the Big Bang. Even what I just said in that void now, if it had been stupid, which it might have been, it's too late. It's in that void. There's nothing we can do about it. If you're worrying about the past, they say if you're depressed, you're worrying about the past. If you're suffering from anxiety, you're worrying about the future. So the past doesn't exist. It's done. It's a void. It's gone. And the future hasn't happened yet. It can only be imagined. So that's not real either. So once we bring ourselves back to that understanding, and bring ourselves back to the moment, we can let go of all the things we're worrying about. That's not to say we don't prepare. It's not to say that we don't get ready for things, to plan things for the future. But worrying about it once we've done it is of absolutely no use at all. I know you're going to ask yourself the question, the next time you start feeling anxious about something, will it help? You know, Lisa is here, Lisa Davenport and myself, we're running a group, a kind of workshop for teenagers, 14 to 21. It's called Zero to Hero. Lisa's idea. Can't wait to work with her. We haven't worked together before. We've got it planned, you know, and I am fully expecting, even though we've only got 2 people booked at the moment, or 2 adults, because it's free for the kids. Anyone 14 and 21 come along free, but they have to have an adult with them because it's hypnosis. And the adult pays £45. It's not exactly Las Vegas figures. But we've had 2 people book, and I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 kids come in. But we spoke about it today, you know, and one of we're going to be sitting there with, my lights are gone off. One is going to be sitting there with, 5 kids and 2 adults. But I fully expect to have that room full, and I believe it's going to happen. So we can look at either way. At this point in time, none of it's real. No, whatever we're thinking, whatever we're expecting, it's not real. So we may as well expect the best outcome. Either way, it's going to be fun because I'm going to be working with Lisa, and we're creating something brand new. And if one child out of that room has a result, then it's been worth it, hasn't it, Lisa? So, when I think about the future now, I just expect the best. It might be naive, but I expect the best. I prepare, I do what I have to do, and then I stop worrying about it. So I don't know if we got onto this subject, but what I'm saying about is that the bottom line for me, for all of us, and I want you to feel it today, is that thing of unconditional self-love. To know it's okay to love yourself, to take care of yourself, be kinder to yourself. Most of us aren't. And I promise you, when this happens, you'll start to look at the food you're eating. You'll start to look at your own internal dialogue. You'll start to look at what you accept from other people. And if you wouldn't want someone you love putting up with that, then you'll stop doing it yourself. So that's what it's going to be about today. Has anyone got any questions about this or anything? I know Michael wants me to slip in something for sleeping well. I'll do that today. Might as well. Anyone got any questions? No? Was there anything else you want me to add in, Amanda? Right, okay. Well, look, you know what this is like. I want you to look on this as time out. And I want you to understand, because it's true, that while we're together, this is all that matters to me. If you see me demonstrate stuff on our weekend retreat, or you see me for that moment when I'm at the front of that room with that person who's the demo subject, they're all that matters. I know people are watching, I know people are learning. But in that moment, that's all that matters to me. And it's the same for you. I truly want you all to go off this call today feeling differently about yourself, understanding that you're worthy of that unconditional self-love. Because how can you show it to other people unless you've accessed it yourself? And to understand that the core of your being, and you're going to experience it today as well, the actual core of your being, the essence of who you are, is pure joy and pure love and pure light. Every thought, when it's created, that thought's created, starts as a pure thought. And then the experience of your life, if you like, is like a matrix between that thought, wherever it comes from, and before it reaches your conscious awareness. And so it's like a filter. And even though it starts as a pure thought, when it reaches your conscious mind, it's been affected by all of your experiences. So the core of your being, the essence of who you are, is pure joy and pure light, pure love. That's who you are. And today you're going to have an experience of feeling into that. I'm going to take you into the most wonderful, profound state of hypnosis where you access all of your own inner abilities and strengths. So you can think about where you want to be, an hour from now, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. And then look at the things that are stopping you from achieving that at the moment, and then let go of that. I know some of you have been with me for a long time now. We've been doing this probably for over 2.5 years or something since we first started with the college. I think it was maybe March 2019 or 20, I'm not sure now. But it's been over 2 years, I know. So a lot of the things I'm saying, I know sometimes I repeat, but sometimes I think some of the things I say are worth repeating. And a lot of them haven't come from me. We have people on our training. We have Lisa, and I listen to Lisa, and some of the things, her ideas stick with me, and I'm going to pass them on. I've worked with Graham, and Graham has great ideas, and I pass them on. So every now and again, I'll meet somebody who drops what I call a golden nugget of information that I can help people with. And this is one of my favorite. And it's, I said the other day, there's 4 questions that I think are the most important questions for us when we're looking to create the life we want. The 4 questions is this, and I want you all to ask yourself these questions today. What has to happen for you to love yourself enough to treat yourself to the health and the happiness and the body and the life that you want? What has to happen for you to love yourself enough? The second question, if you are not doing that now, if not, why not? The third question, when we think about creating the life you want, how badly do you want to feel that good or feel that healthy? And the fourth question, which most people ignore, is what are you willing to do to make it happen? That's the big question. Most of us know what we want. Most of us know how we want to feel physically. Most of us want to know how we want to be in our career and what money we want to be earning. And that's all very well. But unless you ask the fourth question, what am I willing to do to make it happen? How badly do you want it? And what are you willing to do? So many people sit on their settee watching the Olympics thinking, I wish I could jump that high. I wish I could run that fast. I wish I had a body like that. And while they're doing that, they're eating a bag of crisps and having a glass of wine. It's like, now, what are you willing to do to make it happen? That's the question. How badly do you want it? So that question, the first question, so we're going to address that today. What has to happen for you to love yourself enough to treat yourself to the health and the happiness you want? That's going to be the main question. I'm going to get you to feel into a feeling of unconditional self-love. So you don't keep beating yourself up for being a human being. I often see men and I've had grown men crying in my therapy room over something they've done, a mistake they've made. And I say to them, look, we're men, we're not gods. And we mess up and we make mistakes. It's about forgiving ourselves sometimes for being human. When I wrote a book for parents a while back called Potent Shrew. And we're going to revive it because I think it's worth doing, teaching my students how to help parents use some of these simple hypnotic techniques to help their children. And in the book, the last sentence, I think it is in the book, I say, look, if all we do as parents, if everything we do is with love and best intent, that's all we can ask of ourselves. Even if we mess it up completely, which most of us do, or we seem to anyway, if everything we've done is with love and the best intent, that's all we can ask of ourselves. And it's the same for us as human beings. We live our life, do our best. You know, I've done some really, I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, but I do my utmost every day to be as kind as I can be. And that's it, really. I can't leave it at that. I do my best to be as kind to as many people as I can. Enjoy my life to the full, however that comes at me. And every now and again, yeah, I think, well, that was stupid. And I was saying over the weekend, because we had the weekend retreat last weekend, I rarely drink, to be honest with you. And there's a reason I don't drink. Even I don't drink a lot. And I say a lot of people don't know this, but actually, I am a complete idiot. People just don't know that about me. I put on a really good front, right? But the truth is, I'm a complete idiot. The problem is, when I've had a few vodkas, the idiot comes out in full force. And once he's out, it's very hard to get him back in the bottle. So that's why I avoid drinking as much as I can, because, as I said, I can keep him hidden most of the time. So yeah, we all have that. We all do stupid things. We all say stupid things. We could sit for weeks afterwards worrying about it, but it's in the void. It's in the void with nothing to do about it. Apologize, move on, and forgive yourself. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. Get to that feeling of unconditional self-love. Look on this as a time out. I want you to really enjoy this. You know, you work hard all week. Let this set you up for the weekend so you can move into the weekend feeling great, because you are great. You know, all of you. I keep saying it. We look at our bodies in the mirror and we think, oh, look at that lump there, look at that, whatever. But you have to understand that you are the most incredible creation in this known universe. Think about it. You're the most incredible creation. Some of you have got children. Think about that. How incredible is that? To have created those beautiful children. You know, for me, it's still amazing. So understand that you are, the core of your being is love. You're already a whole being. You don't need to be anyone else. You're the perfect creation. And allow yourself to feel into this feeling of unconditional self-love. Start looking after yourself a bit better. Okay, so if you're ready to do this, ready to get into this with me, let's put anything that you've got on your lap down. If you've got a hot cup of coffee on your lap, perched on the edge of the windowsill, maybe not, maybe sit down somewhere, put the cup down. So you can get comfortable, right? Now, no matter what happens next, and no matter how relaxed you get, the chair will support you. I have had people disappear off the screen, but I know they're still in the chair because I can see their shoulder. I had one lady wanted to say to me once when she disappeared like that, she went right under the table like this, and all I could see was the top of her shoulder. And when she came out of it, she said, this is what she said, I swear this is what she said. She said, I don't know that I went under. I said, well, you went under the table. I don't know about anything else. But yeah, that's what she said when she came out of it. I don't know that I went under. And she spent the whole time under the table. Right, anyway, getting back to this. Get yourselves comfortable. Place your hands lightly on your legs. Place your feet on the floor just for a while. Forget about everything else. Understand that while we're together, you're all that matters to me. You can listen to me if you want, but I don't mean this rudely. I'm not interested in your conscious mind. Your conscious mind can go anywhere it likes, go to the beach, go anywhere it likes, or it can listen. I don't mind. So what you do when you're ready to do this, take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close, but only as quickly as you're ready to experience this feeling of unconditional self-love. For a moment, focus on those tiny muscles around your eyes and allow your eyes to relax. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Every word I say just relaxes those muscles more and more. That's right. Imagine it's happening automatically and there's nothing you can do about that. Imagine having your temples massaged and your eyes are relaxing, your scalp's relaxing. Imagine that's happened. Just for a moment, think about those people you love, people that love you. Think about the people you helped with your words and your kindness over the years. People who are living their life so much better because of you. Just for a moment, allow yourself to think into that. And as you do that, notice your eyes are now so relaxed, they just won't work. Or when you realize your eyes are so relaxed, they just won't work, you can test them, find it completely locked, just for a while. That's right. Now, nothing bothers or affects you. Nothing disturbs you. All that matters now is you, the sound of my voice, and that feeling of unconditional self-love. I'm going to snap my fingers, and as you hear that sound, that feeling of relaxation around your eyes is going to flood down through your body. It's every cell, every fiber, every muscle is going to relax. No matter how relaxed your body becomes, the chair will support you. Get ready. Feel that feeling flooding down through your body now. That's right. Every muscle, nerve and fiber, all the tension coming out of your shoulders, your arms relaxing, your wrists relaxing, your tongue relaxing in your mouth, your throat relaxing, just for a while. Nobody wants anything. You don't have to say anything. Your neck relaxing, those muscles in your back relaxing. Your chest relaxing, your breathing changing. Just for a moment, focus on your breathing. And imagine that you're breathing in calm. You're breathing out tension. You're breathing in love. And you're breathing out doubt. Let that feeling flood down through your chest, down through your stomach, into your hips, your legs, your calves, your ankles, feet and toes. Every muscle, nerve and fiber relaxed. It's like a handful of rubber bands just thrown on that chair, loose and relaxed. That's right. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. Because with the eyes closed, you can continue to relax. Although at times you may be more aware of some things than you were before. The sound of my voice, the comfort of the chair, the sounds in the room, the sounds outside the room, certain sensations, the beating of your heart, and the thoughts and images that drift into the mind automatically. Just for a moment, once again, think about those people you love who love you. See those faces, see those smiles, feel that love right now. Let that remind you of just how loved you are. Because you are loved, and you are loved, and you are loving. Get a sense of that now. Because with the eyes closed, it becomes easier to become more and more aware of a variety of things that otherwise may go overlooked or ignored. Thoughts, and feelings, and sensations. The alteration of awareness as the mind begins that gradual letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take. To tell the exact position of arms, hands, or fingers. Even the effort it takes to be aware of which leg seems to relax more quickly or completely than the other may seem to be too much effort to bother making. But it takes time to experience that letting go, your own time, in your own way. As you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. And the mind begins to drift down toward a place of quietness. A place of peaceful inner awareness. A place that almost seems to give off signals that directs awareness down toward it, into it. More and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. Where even the effort it takes to be aware of the sound of my voice or the meaning of my words may almost seem to be too much effort to bother making. It's so much easier simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. Allowing events to occur in your own time, in your own way. A drifting down. Deeper, deeper, deeper down now. 10, 20, 100 times deeper. Get a sense of that happening, just dropping down through space and time. Down to that place of total, profound trance. Get a sense of that happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. And just when you think you've reached the ultimate space, profound hypnosis and trance, my voice, my words are going to take you 10 times deeper. That's right. Every word I say doubles that feeling, and everything I say now is your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon. At a molecular, cellular, neurological levels, now your reality. Because you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, can continue to hear, to understand, respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take. To tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful, free-floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Get a sense of yourself out there. Think of something you love to feel, a way you love to be, something you love to achieve. You know, maybe Michael waking up in the morning, having slept soundly through the night. Maybe Mark being completely free of any useless pain in that foot and heel. Free of every anxiety, free of every ounce of stress. Get a sense of yourself out there, living your life the way you want to live it. And I want you to notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that body, feel into it. Let go of any limitations. Think about how you want to feel and something you'd love to achieve. See yourself doing it. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. And step into that body and feel into it. Get a sense of what it feels like to achieve that. And then ask this question: how much fun is it? How much fun can I make it? How important is it for me? Because now you know how good you're going to feel. Everything about your nature is inclined toward making it happen. I'd like your unconscious mind to make whatever changes are necessary for you to allow yourself to be as well as you can be. The unconscious mind can allow those changes to occur while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. That's right, in your own time, in your own way. Aware of events that occur along the way. As the unconscious mind utilizes that opportunity to alter your awareness and continue that learning in whatever way is the right way for you. Learning that feeling of letting go. Allowing the unconscious to assume more and more responsibility for guiding and directing awareness as you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. As you relax and enter into the trance more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. And I can wonder whether you're aware that you've drifted deeply into hypnosis. Because the deeper you go, the better you will feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you'll go. And as you drift into that space, I'd like you to have the most incredible experience of liberation and freedom. Because in a moment, the essence of who you are, that intangible part of a human being, the passenger, the observer in that physical body. Some call it the spirit, some call it the soul. I call it the essence. It's going to separate from your body for a while. And it will be the most incredible theme of liberation and freedom. Get a sense of that happening now, just drifting up out of your body and leaving your body in that chair for a while. And as you drift away from your body, I want you to look back at that body in that chair and show it some appreciation. How incredible are you? Your body is the most incredible creation in this known universe. I want you to notice as you drift away from your body and leave it in that chair for a while. Notice that the essence of who you are is ageless and it's infinite. It has no edge. That nothing that happens to that body in that chair can actually touch you, the essence of who you are. And understanding that you're not your body. You're not even your name because that was given to you. And that whatever you think you are or thought you are so, so much more than that. The essence of who you are is pure love and pure light and pure joy. Get a sense of drifting higher and higher, drifting up out of that building you're in. Light as a feather, drifting up into that sky like a helium balloon that some young girls let go of in the park. Get a sense of drifting so high now that you can actually look back at this beautiful blue planet we live in. Get a sense of it now. Get a sense of that beautiful planet just spinning, that rock spinning through space. How incredible is that? How incredibly lucky are we to land on this planet? All the planets in the universe, how incredibly lucky are we? And notice as you look at that planet from way off, the whites of the clouds, the whites of the mountaintops, the greens of the forest, the blue of the ocean. Notice how your perspective changes. You can think about the 7.8 billion people on that planet, of which you are one unique, incredible individual. And notice how your perspective changes and things that had seemed overwhelming no longer have any power over you. Things that had seemed hard or difficult to overcome no longer have any power over you. Now in your mind's eye, get a sense of a target, like an archery target, a massive target. See the coloured band, see the very centre, that bullseye. Now in the centre of that target is total, unconditional self-love. A feeling of unconditional self-love. In a moment, I'm going to make this sound. As I make that sound, you're going to be shot, fired like an arrow straight through that target into a space of total unconditional self-love. As you go through the target, every ounce of irrational fear and anxiety and stress that you may have been feeling is going to be wiped from your body. And your body's going to be flooded instead with that feeling of unconditional self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, confidence. Get ready. It's going to be the most incredible experience. As I make that sound, you're going to be fired like an arrow straight through that center of that target into a space of total unconditional self-love. Get ready. Now you're in that space and feel that feeling flooding your body. Once again, think about the people you love, the people you've helped. How incredible are you? People who are living their life differently because of you, because of your kindness, your love, your skill, your words. Get a sense of that now. Feel into that feeling of love. Feel it like a burning hot sun in the summer sky. And shrink that down to a white hot nuclear powered ball of light as big as a golf ball. Pull that into your heart center and feel your heart expanding with that feeling of unconditional self-love. And know it's okay to love yourself, to be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, because you are worth it. Feel into it now and notice as your body is flooded with that feeling of love, that every ounce of anxiety and stress has gone. Every ounce of useless, unnecessary pain, both physical and emotional, has gone from your body and mind. You cannot feel it, you cannot experience it. Because that anxiety and stress and that useless, unnecessary pain cannot coexist in your body and mind with that feeling of unconditional self-love. Get a sense of that now. Feel your body being flooded with that feeling. Think of a moment of laughter, a moment of pure laughter when you laughed and laughed, that wonderful belly laugh, that unconscious laugh at something. Think of a moment of laughter now and step into that moment, feel into it, get a sense of it, and then pull that feeling of laughter into your heart and feel your heart expanding with that feeling of laughter. How incredible it is to be human, to be able to experience that sense of fun. Feel into that feeling, feel your heart expanding. Now think of a moment of pure gratitude. Something, someone, but a moment of pure gratitude. Step into that feeling of gratitude, feel into it, get a sense of it now. And when you're ready, pull that into your heart and feel your heart expanding with that feeling of laughter and gratitude. Feel it now. Now think of a moment of pure, unconditional self-love for someone, something, or when you felt it from someone else, someone who just loved you, no matter what. Remember that moment. Feel into it now. A feeling of unconditional love. Grasp it and pull it into your heart center and feel your heart expanding with that feeling of laughter and gratitude and unconditional self-love. And feel that feeling now flooding through your body, because you are loved and you are loved and you are loving. That's why you do what you do, because you are loved and you are loved and you are loving. And now in this moment, you can feel that feeling of unconditional self-love. And now it's okay to want for yourself what you want for your clients, what you want for your children, what you want for the people you love. No, it's okay to want that for yourself, because you are worthy of it. You know, I don't know if you know about the Navajo Indian, but they weave these incredible rugs. They're beautiful, intricate patterns, beautiful colors. And they're known throughout the world for these beautiful rugs that they weave. And they've been weaving those rugs for thousands of years. But within every rug, there is a knot, an imperfection somewhere. So small, it's almost impossible to find it, but it's there. there's a knot, there's an imperfection in there somewhere. And the Navajo Indian leave that knot in that rug purposely. They do it on purpose. And over the years, people have asked, why do they do that? And their answer is the same that it's been for 2,000 years. They say they leave that knot in that rug, that imperfection in that rug, so the gods don't think they're trying to be God themselves. That it's okay to do our best. It's okay to be human. It's okay to make mistakes and to let it go. And every now and again, forgive ourselves and forgive others so you can be free. So you can show others this feeling of unconditional self-love, because that's where it starts. To treat yourself kindly, to look after yourself, look after your body, because it's the only one you're going to get. And although your body is not you, without your body, you can't communicate, you can't move, you can't sense, you can't feel. And nothing that happens to that physical body can touch you. So as you feel into that feeling now, once again, see yourself out there, living your life in that space of peace. No matter what's going on around you, know that none of that can touch you, and you can anytime access this feeling of peace. To be a part of and apart from this planet. To be within it, but also be apart from it. And to show others how to experience this feeling of unconditional self-love now that you feel it yourself. Hold that feeling of laughter, gratitude, and unconditional love in your heart. And take it into everything you do. Because that's who you are. You are love, you are loved, and you are loving. And go with your unconscious often as you need to know that you're free. In this moment, you are free. In this moment, because there is only this moment. And from tonight, Michael, when you get up in the night and go back to your bed, you'll hear the word relax in your mind. You go immediately back into a wonderful deep sleep to awaken in the morning, energized and well. Now it belongs to you. Go with your unconscious often as you need to know that you are loved. And only when the unconscious mind knows and has made those changes and allows the conscious mind to accept the changes made. Because in a moment, I'm going to count to 10. Every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible because you are incredible. And on 10, that thing of unconditional love is going to stay with you and grow stronger day by day. As you set about creating the life you want by helping others create the life they want. So get ready as I count to 10. On 8, your eyes will open. You'll feel wonderful. A lightness of being you may have never experienced before. Free of every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. And on 10, that new understanding, that feeling of love is going to grow stronger day by day. No matter what's going on around you, you'll get through it. And you'll hold this feeling at the core of your being. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful. 2, to create the life and the health you want and know that you are worthy of it. 3, the feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that ever held you back. 4, feel a force of that love and freedom flooding your body and mind. 5, feel incredibly alive now. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10. Just wait for the rest to come back. Mark and Graham are enjoying it too much by the look of it. Talk amongst yourselves. Look, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed that today. Nice to see you, Hal. That is some shirt you got on there, mate. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, it's proper hippie. Excellent. Look. Oh, Mark's back. It's just Graham. Forgot. Just wait for Graham to come back. There he is. Welcome back. Okay, excellent. Been waiting for an hour for you, Graham. 6 o'clock now. You've been asleep for an hour. Yeah. Look, I hope you enjoyed it. Take that feeling into everything you do. Remember, you are loved and you are loved and you are loving. There are times when we don't feel so good. That's just being human. But now bring yourself back to it and always remember who you are at the core of your being. All right. Okay, look, have a lovely weekend and I'll see you again soon. Say hello to Thelma for me, Diane.
I certainly will. Thank you, Freddie. Good weekend. Good
And
weekend, everybody.
And remember, Sutton Coldfield, 21st of October, we're doing this thing. Lisa and I are doing this thing for these kids. So if you know anyone in that area, or if you've got any contacts in the area, tell everybody that you know. We want to fill that room out. We want to help as many kids as possible. It's free for the kids, and each guardian, teacher, parent can bring up to 3 kids, and it's £45 for them to get in. And that's just to cover mine and Lisa's holiday afterwards.
After you see how it goes in Sutton Coldfield, will you be thinking of bringing it down?
Yeah, I'd love to. That's the plan, to tour it.
Okay.
You know, Las Vegas, all the hot spots. We're going to tour it. So,
what London will do
starts in Sutton Coldfield, then the world. All right. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Speak to you all soon.
Thanks, Freddie.
Bye.
Everyone, bye.
Ready?
Bye. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks, Freddie. See you.
See you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Yes. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye. Sleep well, Michael. Okay. See you soon.